Good Tuesday evening. Meteorologist Nick Kelly here with a fresh look at the extended forecast. We have seen a lot of clouds pass on through today, but really no rain to speak of for the vast majority of the area so far. But all these clouds are hinting at our next storm system, which is actually prompting some severe weather this evening across parts of Kansas and up into other parts of the northern and central plains, all along and ahead of a cold front that is finally ready to march into our area as we go through the next few days. It will do so now that our upper level ridge is finally breaking down and heading back into the Gulf of Mexico. That upper level low working across the northern parts of the country will not only bring in one cold front, but two cold fronts to make sure that we finally get some fall-like air back into the Ozarks in the near future. As far as Futurecast is concerned, we'll just keep things dry through the course of the evening with generally partly to mostly cloudy skies in place. And as we take you through Futurecast, I think there's a chance that we could see a couple of widely scattered showers and maybe a couple of thunderstorms to the northwest of Interstate 44 by the time we get to 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Then I think it's certainly feasible we could see the expected rain coverage expand a bit and head closer to the 65 corridor in areas like Lake of the Ozarks by about 8 or 9 o'clock. And then as we go throughout the course of the day, the radar won't look exactly like this, but it does have the idea that we'll continue to watch for additional periods of off and on scattered showers and some thunderstorms. This isn't looking like a severe setup, but note how these rain chances still want to try to hold on as we go through Wednesday evening and into Thursday morning, but the overall consensus amongst the First Alert Weather Team is still that as we go deeper through the day, and certainly by the afternoon, the cold front will be on the way out, the first one that is, and that will lead to some returning sunshine and of course our rain chances clearing on out. As far as what to expect in terms of rain amounts, unfortunately the amounts have shifted around a little bit lower overall, but still we'll take any rain that we can get. Along the north of Interstate 44, anywhere from about a tenth to 3/4 of an inch of rain, and then for far southern Missouri and in northern Arkansas, that's where we could see areas between 3/4 of an inch and maybe as high as 1.5 inches to up to 2 inches of rain. So hopefully these slower amounts temper any expectations of minor flooding or isolated flooding, but it's something that we'll still watch over the next few days. Plus, these fronts on the way in will certainly impact temperatures. We'll be mild again for the overnight with lows back near 64 in Springfield and 63 in northern Arkansas. Both the Queen City and Harrison tomorrow only top out around 73, with most of us actually in the lower 70s due to more clouds on the way and those incoming rain and thunderstorm chances too. In fact, everybody in the Ozarks should be in the lower to middle 60s to start Wednesday morning out. Only near 70 degrees by the noon hour, and we don't budge much from there, with highs back in the lower to maybe a couple middle 70s by about 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. And with the continued clouds and rain chances off and on, the numbers barely drop into the upper 60s by 10 o'clock Wednesday night. We'll drop back into the lower to middle 60s Thursday morning before we see these numbers only rebound into the lower 70s in a lot of spots for Thursday afternoon. But again, once we get past Thursday, that first cold front's on the way out. We will see nice dry conditions return for the weekend, certainly for your Friday. But then that upper level wave will send in more colder air, and certainly with the aid of another cold front that will come on in. And look at how this upper level setup is much better than the one that we had for much of this week, keeping fall-like air in place, and at least things on the dry side as we go through the coming weekend. And just to give you an idea of how cold we're expecting temperatures to get, the average high by Friday should be 74 degrees. I think it'll only make it into the mid-60s for Friday afternoon. Highs near 60 on Saturday, back into the mid-60s on Sunday, and then lower 70s return by Monday as we go into next week. And I haven't even touched base on the morning lows. I'm in agreement with the weather team here. We could have some frost, possibly by Saturday morning and Sunday morning, with those numbers dropping back into the upper 30s to lower 40s. Other than that, we are looking at dry weather going into early next week. In the meantime, though, we'll take the rain chances on the way for Wednesday and Thursday, and at least a few more days in the short term in the lower 70s.